Hello and welcome to my today's video, in which I'm going to speak to you about the debut digital single of Evan, also known as Heeseung. I'm probably going to call him Heeseung more in this video, not because I have anything against the name Evan, but because I really like the name Heeseung. And from the very beginning, I actually want to put it into a wider frame. Let's say, a frame of what I think Heeseung might be going through on a personal level as a human. And I have already made 2 videos about it. One in January when Enhypen had the latest comeback, and one in March when Heeseung left Enhypen. And I didn't post those videos, and I'm not actually sure why, but now I received a confirmation about my suggestions, about what I guessed in those videos, so now I'm going to tell about it, so it's okay. So I think my theory about the music video of Ride or Die is that it shows this shift in the life of a person that happens not to every person. Like, I know really few people who have been through something like that, and I was blessed or cursed to go through something like this when I was at the age of 23 and 24, particularly when I was 23 years old. And it's something that I call a quarter-life crisis, but in fact it has very specific, for some people, it has very specific qualities. And Ride or Die music video really shows them very well. For example, there are 2 different cars. One of them, like brand new sports car, red, shiny, everybody likes it. And another one is made of like patches and pieces, and people just look at it and they're like, what the hell is that? And that's actually how this crisis feels from the inside. I personally was triggered by this music video because I think I didn't realize how much it hit me at that time. I knew that it was a very difficult period in my life, and I still remember it as the most difficult period in my life, even though it was, 7-8 years ago. I still kind of didn't realize how much I lost during it. So the way I experienced it, and I assume Heeseung experienced it in a similar way as well, was that everything is all right. You are going in a wonderful car. Everybody likes you. Everything is great. You have everything you wanted. Everything is achievable. You have. I had relationships. I had a job. I had a company of people amongst whom I had certain status. I had respect, and it was the same for Heeseung, I'm pretty sure. And at some point, something happens, and you're not sure actually what. But at some point you feel like you have changed internally, but you have no idea how. You cannot put it together, you cannot comprehend it rationally, but something just changed. And now you are surrounded by the same people, but they don't really see you because something has changed. And it's the feeling of absolute loneliness in the room full of people. It's a feeling of absolute loneliness in relationships with people who are close to you, people who care for you, but you still do not feel seen because they do not understand what you are going through. And I was actually, recently when I made a video about Mono mixtape of Namjoon, I really feel that he is really describing something very similar. A situation when something changed, your perception of the reality changed, you don't understand how, and also you feel like you are the only one person on the earth, because nobody understands what you are going through, and nobody, they all knew you as the old you, but the old you does not exist anymore. This red car, shiny and sports that everybody liked, it doesn't exist anymore. And now you have to reinvent your own life, and it's awkward. It's made with patches. It's some Frankenstein of the pieces of you, and people look at it and they're like, what the fuck is that? Everybody liked the old version of you, but this old version of you doesn't exist anymore, and it wasn't even your choice to stop being that. It just happened. And I really, when I was looking at Heeseung in the last months when he was like from the last comeback of Enhypen, I had a very strong feeling that he's going through something like that. Like I couldn't explain it, but it kind of resonated that like this part of me that was through this shit, it was resonating with what I saw in Heeseung. And when this music video was released, I was triggered, but also I was like, okay, that's what I saw, that's what I felt, I was right. I have a theory about this crisis, honestly, and it's connected with the astrological event which happens when we are between 23 and 24, and it's the second return of Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So for some people it's less, for some people it's more, but Jupiter brings this internal like consciousness expansion which you can't really comprehend. And you can't be what you used to be. And Jupiter really pushes you towards being more of yourself, but you're not sure what yourself is. And you can't be that socially acceptable, desired, respected version of you that you used to be, but you don't really know what to be. And that's also what I think Ride or Die music video really shows perfectly. It's like I recognized it immediately. My energy, like my subconscious, recognized it before my head did, before my mind did. This is to which extent it is, familiar. And this expansion, this acceleration of expansion, it is shown in this, what is it called? Speedometer? Is that the name in English? I hope so. Which like goes up and then something like a crash happens. Like so this shift happens and nothing is the way it used to be. And the sun overflow, it also really expresses this feeling of too much of everything going on internally and externally. In my case, like I didn't have that much pressure as Heeseung did, obviously. But still, it was this constant feeling for at least a few months that I thought I would go crazy. I had a severe anxiety disorder, and I legitimately thought I would just lose my mind, because the amount of everything going on inside of my system, inside of my body, was like I couldn't facilitate it, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I needed to change my perception of the reality entirely to be able to kind of put it all together. And I really think that it's something that Heeseung went and maybe is going through. And that is actually the reason why I honestly respect him so much, because I liked Heeseung in Hypen, but he wasn't my favorite. Actually, I always knew that there is something very special about him. I always knew that he has some special sensitivity, some special abilities. It was like obvious to me from the very beginning, but he wasn't my favorite. But now, like I have so much respect and so much, I don't know, even loyalty in a way to Heeseung, because I don't know, it's some particularity of mine, honestly, to become very loyal to people who go through fire, to people who choose to give up on some things which are considered to be socially not even acceptable, admired, something that is considered to be success, to give up on that for the sake of becoming more of yourself. And that's what I think Heeseung did. I think it wasn't a very easy thing to do, honestly. It wasn't easy to make such a decision. But also, when I remember how it was for me at that time, I think he couldn't do it any other way. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people, like, they don't understand what happened. There is so much mess in, like, was and is when Heeseung was living in Hypen, because people... the absolute majority of people cannot understand this shift, this change. People try to understand this situation from their point of view, which does not include the experience like this. And that's why for a lot of people it's like it's crazy what has happened when Heeseung left in Hypen, and nobody can understand neither the motivation nor like how it could happen. But for me, like maybe not from the first day, but almost from the very beginning when it happened, it was obvious. It was obvious for me why it is happening. It was obvious to me what is happening to Heeseung. And it was when the single was released, it all made sense. Like, it's exactly what I saw, it's exactly what I thought. It's that's what the music video and the songs showed. So generally my impression from the debut single of Evan is that I like it. And I had it on repeat for a few days. I was listening to it a lot. And honestly, in some places, the promotion is kind of awkward. And the production is kind of not ideal. Probably because they wanted to do it quickly, maybe. Or maybe because the team of production is comparatively new, or maybe, I don't know the reasons, obviously. But it's kind of, kind of awkward-ish. And I sincerely and deeply don't give a shit about that. Like, my heart is yours, Heeseung. I will support him always. Because when someone does what Heeseung has done, gives up on, something that is already established, something that is already working, something that is already bringing him money and success, giving up on all this to become more of what you are, it's worth all the respect in the world for me. And I love it and I support it and I will always support it. And I'm very proud of Heeseung. The only thing is that, this feeling that is shown in the music video, the feeling of not being seen, and the feeling of being alone even when you are surrounded by people. Honestly, it's like one of the things that made that experience personally for me most devastatingly difficult. And I really, really wish, just like I wish there was someone for me at that time, I wish that there is someone for Heeseung who knows what he's going through. Because, I can't turn back time and explain to myself what is happening and make it easier. But at least I hope that, it's different time now and people know more and understand more, and maybe there will be someone for Heeseung to make him feel not so lonely in it. Because honestly, I feel like I'm still... No, it's been almost 8 years. I'm still facing the consequences of that loneliness, because it's not that it's impossible. Oh shit. It's not that it's impossible to go through this on your own. It is possible. It is very doable. But the thing is that you gain certain hyper-independency, and it's really hard to trust someone after that, after you have handled it on your own, after you have survived this. But the thing is that no matter what we are looking for, whether it's like professional fulfillment or success, or even fulfillment of our creative ideas, still the most, in my opinion, fulfilling and pleasurable thing is connection, human connection. And after you go through something very difficult and you have no one to rely on, and you have to go through it on your own, you do survive, but it's really hard to rely on someone after that. So I really hope that Heeseung doesn't have to go through it on his own. Oh. And with that, I'm going to finish this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.